Welcome back to MMA Mathletes. My name's Sean. This is Joe. We're two casual MMA fans who happen to be degenerate gamblers. Come join us while we chase the perfect parlay each week. This week, we're breaking down UFC 330, Islam Makhachev versus Ian Garry. And if you enjoy our content, make sure you're subscribed and hit that thumbs up button.
Guys, we were pretty close on both cards, but as it goes, we got mopped.
I mean, normally it's like the really close fights that we lose on. So like the Salt Killed, that was a nice little confidence booster going into this week because I was like, dude, the fact that Gamrot is an underdog, that's crazy.
Yeah, that was about to be a really spicy loss.
Oh, yeah. I was like, if we lose, I kind of understand.
Yeah, I was like, I get it.
Yeah, definite toss-up fight. I mean, we lost to Gigi. That was unfortunate. Maybe it was a little bit of recency bias because we just saw her on the Ultimate Fighter. Also, it's like fucking 4 days notice because, you know, they don't like to give us full fight cards. They just like to give us half-baked shit. And then they're like, we'll fix it in the post.
Yeah, why do they do that?
I don't know. They just hate us. That's what it is.
That's so stupid to do that.
Oh, 100%. Like, especially because your sport is based and predicated on sports gambling. Just makes no sense to me.
0 cents.
Yeah.
Also, I think that she just looked really small. And she also just didn't have any... I don't know. Any like fight IQ, I guess?
Fight IQ, but also she didn't have any cardio. She was dog shit tired. I mean, it was on a couple days notice, but I mean, she just got finished filming The Ultimate Fighter and doing that thing. So I would assume that she would have better cardio than that. Maybe she needs to change camps. I don't know.
She didn't have good cardio in The Ultimate Fighter either. So maybe it's just what she does. She just doesn't have it. Also, trying to strike with a striker that's out striking you is pretty weird.
Yeah, I mean, she would have won that fight if she just decided, hey, I'm just going to grapple. I'm going to do my thing and then get her tired. And then once we actually start scrapping, she's not going to fucking be able to hit me with a bunch of those shots. She was eating those fucking calf kicks. Learn to check. I mean, she is young, though. She's 23 years old. I mean, she's only hopefully going to get better from here, but...
Hopefully. I had so much faith in her, especially with her huge pedigree in ground game.
Oh, yeah.
And then she just doesn't try to cinch up anything. She had a key lock. She's just sitting on her face, and she's like, I'll just wait for 45 seconds for the whole round to be done.
Yeah.
What are you doing?
And, you know, just trying to get that arm bar was kind of weird. She didn't, like, explode into the arm bar. It was like a slow, which is like, just, maybe it's just me. Maybe I'm ignorant on jiu-jitsu. You can check me on that, but I feel like just slowly getting into that kind of submission just kind of makes no sense in that situation.
I mean, you could do it slow.
But you know, like just really getting your hip in and just like exploding, like and not giving
You're not trying to pop it. You know
yeah,
what I mean?
but like, you know, getting your, I mean, she was there for long enough where it like, I feel like you could formulate a plan where you're like, oh shit, what did I do? Okay, that's what I'm going to do. And then I'm going to wait. Yeah, like you're just thinking about it, but maybe I'm just a casual of it. So
yeah, she just didn't do anything with her legs to keep her opponent in place.
Yeah,
which is like a huge problem. She was literally just trying to crank it.
Yeah,
it's like that's why she was able to just scoot out and just
like it really felt like she didn't have her
control.
hips in, or you know, she didn't have any of the positional, like the important positional parts to the submission.
She did it first, and then all of a sudden she just didn't. She slipped out. I was like, "Well, you have the craziest. What's the reverse of aura? Because that's what you have on. You have negative aura. Yeah, she has negative aura on her arm bars at this point. Yeah. Then we have Miles Johns back against the wall. Had to get a KO. Got a KO.
I thought that was going to happen, kind of regardless, a little bit. Who knows with the Jesse Rosas fight? Unfortunately, he had to pull out. And then you had Gianni Vasquez coming in short notice. But man, dude, he did look good. And he did get cracked a couple times by Gianni. I don't know if that like woke him up where he was like, yo, dude, my back's against the wall. I'm going to have to really turn it on. And then just cracks him. We need more of that kind of Miles Johns. The urgency, the like, hey, we need to get this shit done.
I think full fight camp against Miles Johns, there's so much footage to show that he just jab, right hand, double jab, right hand. Jab, right. He's not very like crazy with his shots. Yeah. As long as you're aware that he's going to throw that right hand as soon as he touches you with that left hand, you should be fine. And the short notice, he definitely wasn't ready for that.
Oh yeah, 100%. Yeah, it's weird. His double jab is not really like the second. Like neither one of them is like expected to land. I feel
no.
Like it's literally just like a very soft jab, and then he's just trying to set up that like line up that two. which is like, you just need a little bit more variety, in my opinion.
That's why he runs across looking like he's jousting. It's so weird.
Super strange. Then we had fucking Louis Sutherland.
Dog shit.
That was fucking like 2 dog shit fighters, and he's slightly more dog shit than the other fighter.
Dude, how bad does that Taito Avasa fight age?
Oh my gosh. It's just like, I guess you were good in that one fight, dude.
Yeah, he showed so much promise in that fight. And then before he got to the UFC, he showed a lot of promise with his clinch work. I think maybe he just was scared of being taken down. So he was just on the back foot, which is the opposite of what you should be doing, especially with his fighting style. He should be pressing the pace, and he should be making sure the wrestler is on their back foot. Not wrestler, but grappler. Mm-hmm. Nope, didn't happen.
Yeah, that was just like, and there was nothing impressive. No offense to Jose, but like, he was very whatever. I don't think we can glean too much from this fight. I think it was more of how dog shit is Louis Sutherland, not how good is Jose. So we're going to have to see the next fight to see if he's actually good or not. I don't know. I still think that he has very suspect stand-up, and in a spot where like stand-up is pretty, supreme. Like if you're going up against someone that has decent ground game, like a Walter, if he has even slightly less dog shit striking, he's going to piece you up. Because what are you going to do? Try to take him down? He's just going to heel hook you. Like, what are we talking about here?
No, yeah. A Walter, a Curtis Blades.
Stevenson.
Any of these guys, I think that they just piece him up. I don't think he's ready. He didn't really like impress me at all.
Yeah.
It's just that he was the better of a bad batch.
Yeah, lesser of two evils type of situation.
Yeah, exactly.
And then, I mean, everything else kind of went pretty much according to what I thought was going to happen. I mean, sorry to Darren Elkins. That was a rough one.
Brother got deleted.
Yeah, went to the shadow realm.
Holy shit.
That was
I thought
brutal.
It was going to be a little bit more competitive.
Yeah, it was literally first shot, and then his legs curled up. It's fucking...
Dude, he looked like he was doing some business.
He got the business done.
The way he curled, dude. Please don't meme him. If you do, send him to me.
Like, I definitely like don't want you to do it. I don't want you to be encouraged to do it. But if you do it,
yeah. I mean, if Davale, if he lost that fight, definitely knowing what we know now, that's so much more embarrassing.
That's so tough, dude.
That's a tough loss. He
Yeah.
should probably be cut.
100%.
But I knew he wasn't going to, because I'm saying, dude, that Jordan Leavitt, he's some risky business.
He's a tricky one.
He is. He is a tricky one. He's a wet blanket.
Ty Miller looked really good too.
Oh, Ty Miller's boxing's crazy.
Oh, yeah.
If he had a little bit more power, he'd be a problem.
Yeah.
He doesn't have like the equalizer. He just has the talent.
He does have the talent. He has the movement. He has a really good fight sense, though. Like, I mean, when we were watching it, literally, you're like, oh, he should throw a head kick. And it's like, oh, head kick. Oh, he should knee here. Oh, he knee there. You know, oh, what he needs to do on the cage right now to try to turn in is to do this. And then he did that.
Yeah, he has really good fight sense. Like, I don't know if his coaches are yelling for it and he just has a really good coachability like mindset, or if he actually has like the fight IQ, he's seeing it live.
Alexia Tainara looked great. Amanda Lemos looked old as hell.
Man. And then you know what we're going to be saying in the next fight?
What?
Wow, she also got beat by this chick.
Stop it. I mean, she had a couple moments where she was going to shock the world.
Yeah,
Okay.
but Tainar also has her chin in the air like this.
Yeah, but I mean, like, that could have happened.
There was a couple moments where Tainar almost did the same thing to her.
100%. I feel bad for Lemos because I know she really wants to fight, but I think her body is starting to just age too much. Like she doesn't have the ability to withstand damage the way she used to.
Those leg kicks?
Those leg kicks. Like the first leg
First
kick.
one.
Yeah, her leg was compromised.
She was, I guess,
barely had to check
yeah.
the second one when she went the her switch stance. And then that was compromised. So she had like two compromised legs.
Crazy. But
it was awful.
Dude, she had Tainara hurt in the second round, bro.
I mean, it's just annoying because she didn't have the immediacy to just like, okay, we're going to try to get this done. So,
well, when she did try to get it done, Tainara just cracked her and then grappled her.
And then you have Billy Q looking 1,000 years old, give or take 500 years.
I wish I never watched that fight. I don't care about losing it. I just wish I didn't waste my time watching that stupid fight.
Oh, yeah. The fact that there wasn't even a fucking knockout between two guys that have zero chin and one guy that just decided, hey, we don't need to put our hands up. Like, didn't learn the entire fight. And then he's confused they lost that fight. It's like, yeah, dude, you were literally a human target pad for 3 rounds.
Then you have Diego Ferreira calling out all these different fighters, I'm like, oh, Bobby Green, he beats you.
100%. First round.
Like, what are we doing here?
I'm sorry. Like even for how bad Billy Q was, he still cracked you a couple times. A couple times that if you gave Bobby those same exact shots, those are kill shots for him.
He was calling out Jim Miller. Jim Miller beats him.
Jim Miller beats him. I think he might KO him.
I'm just saying, dude, like, why are you calling out these people? Like, you didn't have a great fight. Billy just looked dog shit.
Again, it's the same thing as the Louis Sutherland fight. It's not how good you looked. It was just how dog shit did Billy look.
It is crazy, though, because it was a very entertaining fight because they both were so dog shit.
Yeah.
It's almost like watching like two white belts or two people that never grappled, and you're like, you have to go for 10 minutes. Guys, there's other positions besides north-south. You know what I mean? Like, just some weird shit.
Oh, 100%.
You got your boy, Steven Aspinall.
Oh, dude, Steven Aspinall. I thought he was going to get the knockout. He tried, dude. He tried. That guy is fucking tough, though.
You know who he called out?
Who did he call out?
He left. He didn't call anyone out, and then he left and he went to the press conference, and he called out Jamal Hill.
Him versus Jamal Hill, the battle of the titties.
Dude, that's literally. He's like, yeah, the battle of the Midwest. Like, let's get it.
Dude, I'm here for that fight, honestly.
Dude, I'm very here for that fight.
Dude, that's literally the most Walmart backyard fucking brawl. Like, there's a cookout after. Like, there's a bunch of shit going on.
That's at the Diaz house right there.
Yeah, brother.
Yeah, for sure.
100%. It's
the
like
chain link fence.
Oh yeah, dude. It's literally the beginning part of the UFC game where they are like, hey, this is how you fight. And it's in someone's backyard. Literally that.
Yeah, the Diaz's backyard.
Oh, 100%. That is so fucking sweet. It's like backyard wrestling.
Oh, yeah. And then you have your girl, Juliana Miller. Good call out.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I mean, it was literally that, or I thought that Havina would be able to just ride it to the decision.
She got hit with one shot and she got scared.
Yeah. I think that she's just like, maybe she has the yips. Maybe she's
I think she has the yips.
You know,
once she's a better fighter overall. And then all of a sudden, homegirl can take people down. I was like, okay, well, maybe she has more strength. Maybe not that. Maybe
she learned how to trip every once in a while.
I mean, she always tries the same trips. So
yeah.
I think that she just like had the yips and then she was just overstimulated. And you know what I mean? I really do not give her too much credit.
Yeah, 100%.
We got to see her fight some normal ass person because, dude, she's so capped.
Yeah, I think also she just didn't expect that much power on that shot because she's been fighting at 115. Mm-hmm. But then she also just got knocked at 115. So maybe getting knocked just kind of shook her confidence a little bit as well. So it's like when she gets hurt now, it's like, oh shit, this is where it ends.
Maybe. It was a very good place shot. We all know that Julian Miller doesn't have like power like that.
Yeah.
So
well, she probably just her just winging it is just enough power.
But good shot, good placement, good timing, right off that break.
Striking looks like a millimeter better than it used to. So, you know, a little bit's an improvement.
Yep. Let's give her Mackenzie Dern.
I mean, battle of the bad striking is crazy.
Dude. Honestly, we'll talk about that later.
It'd be the weirdest fucking stand-up fight because they wouldn't be taking it to the ground because they'd be like respecting each other's ground game.
Yeah. Perillo would be like, keep your hands up. Both of you. Use your jab. Both of you. Just everything.
Stops the fight, teaches both of them how to strike. DR?
Oh, DR, dude. He looked good.
He looked good. I feel bad that he has that tick.
The eye tick?
The eye tick. And also his coach also has the same eye tick.
Why do they both have the eye tick?
They're all like...
Yeah, they're
out here fucking eye poke training in the camp.
Fucking wild. But anyways, thank you everyone that joined us on our live stream. That was a lot of fun. That made the card fun. The card was all right, but especially I think we just got spoiled the past couple months with good fight cards. So it was really cool that everyone joined in our TikTok, our Kick, our live in general, Twitch, YouTube, the whole thing. You guys really make a lot of fun, and hearing you guys make money off of our bets, whether you're betting against us or you're betting with us, super sick.
So we got announced a couple fights. We have Moicano versus Ortega 2.
Moicano's taking that.
Yeah, I think so too.
What's it at?
It's at 155.
That's interesting.
It is interesting.
Who do you think has better grappling?
I think that Ortega has a little bit better grappling, but I think that it's going to be mitigated by the fact that it's up a weight class. And it's his first time being at 155.
You think it'll be mitigated? You don't think that he'll have better because he's not weight cutting and dying on the scale?
I have no idea. I think that he's not going to be used to the power at 155. It's him, perceiving the strength of his opponent, I feel.
When Max went down to 145 after fighting at 155,
yeah,
Max went against the hardest hitting 155er, went down to 145 and got sparked. You don't think that maybe he's going to have a better advantage at 155?
I don't know. Max didn't really get taken down that much at 145. Then he went back up to 155 against Charles and just got mauled.
Well, he should. And
Yeah.
what's it called? Brian would want to be on the ground.
Yeah.
Brian would try to submit him on the ground.
Yeah, I just don't think that Brian, it needs to get to the ground. That's the thing, though, too. So I think that he's going to have to get through Moicano's stand-up, and I think that Moicano's stand-up is much better than Brian Ortega's.
That's true.
That's where it's going to get interesting.
Yeah, you think that Brian Ortega is going to try to keep it standing?
No, I think he's going to try to take it down, but he doesn't have strong takedowns. He's not a wrestler.
Well,
He has to get it into clinch and then try to get a trip, things like that.
here's the thing, though. When is the fight? Is it Mexican Independence Day? Is it, what's it called? Is it Noche?
I don't think so. I think that's 331.
So it's not Noche.
That's not Noche.
Okay. Because if it was Noche, he's trying to stand and bang. But like he did last time against Lopez.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. I wish that him and Lopez went to the ground just so I could see kind of where they're at. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But I'd say, I guess you would have to give it to Moicano right now. Also, what's the age difference? He's 37. Brian Ortega's 35.
How good did Brian Ortega look in his previous fight against Aljamain? He looked pretty old there. How good did Moicano look at 155 in his last fight?
Yeah.
He looked pretty fucking good. He looked very sharp.
Yeah.
So
true.
it's hard to really tell what's going to happen in that fight.
Moicano does have some power in his hands.
He has some power in his hands, and he uses not just his hands. He's really good with his elbows, his knees. He's a very complete Muay Thai fighter. I mean, he lost to Benil, but I think that's mostly because he just dumped all of his energy in the first round because he thought that he was going to get that finish, and he ended up not getting that finish, and he's like, fuck, what do I do now? And then Benil, he still has power and shit like that. His problem is that he gets chinned, so...
Yeah, I guess I'll have to go Moicano on that one.
I think I'm Moicano, but it's also difficult because once you bet on Moicano, that's when he kind of falters.
100%.
Every single time. He's the master. He's the face of do not bet that list. He's like number one, maybe number two, and then number one is Neil Magny.
Neil Magny.
Which we're going to talk about later. Next fight that was announced is Gable Stevenson versus Sean Sharaf. Who you got?
Super easy. Gable's doing that. Next.
The real question is betting odds. How much do you think he's a minus? You got to think that's minus at least 800, right?
Yeah, he's probably minus like, over 1,000, I'd say.
Over 1,000. Do you think he gets the finish as well?
Yeah.
You think he just TKOs him in the first round?
I think he TKOs him. I don't know if it's the first round, but I think he TKOs him.
Or do you think maybe...
No, maybe first round.
Or maybe does he go submission?
No.
No?
I think he's going to TKO him.
Do you think
Probably ground and pound.
Yeah, yeah. Do you think he's just going to take him down and just...
I think he's going to be on the feet, and then Sharaf's probably going to hit him a few times, and he's going to go drop Sharaf. Then it's going to turn like a weird ground thing, and then he's going to beat him up. I'd love to see him just take him down right away and maul him.
That'd be sick. I was thinking like maybe very John Jones-esque. Like, him would just be like, okay, I'm just going to take you down and I'm just going to fucking just maul you.
But, dude, his like side kicks and shit, he's a real problem at heavyweight.
He is a problem. He's only going to get better too. He's so new to the fight game, and especially having the mentorship of John Jones is only going to make his fighting knowledge better.
100%.
Learning from literally, I mean, I'm pretty sure everyone would assume that John Jones has the best fight IQ in the UFC that we've ever seen. At least top three.
At least top three.
And
I
so
think the best fight IQ, Mighty Mouse.
Mighty Mouse?
Probably.
His way of seeing the fight is probably the best.
Yeah.
But in terms of pure just violence, like someone for a heavyweight, I think John Jones has the best fight IQ. But for like just general fight knowledge,
I don't know, man. I'm gonna have to lean towards Louis Sutherland on this one. But
like if we're splitting hairs between him and John Jones, I guess I have to go Louis Sutherland.
yeah, I guess him or Thomas Peterson.
The choo-choo train. On the subject of do not bet fights, Tai Tuivasa versus Robert Despain got announced. Like, how excited are you, 1 to 10, on putting that on a perfect parlay?
Who do you think takes that?
I have no fucking clue.
Ty, dude. He has to, it's due. He has
It's
to knock a
due,
fool out.
But at the same time,
He has too much shame right now. The
Oh,
shame
yeah.
is at an all-time high.
I mean, Despain, he's coming off of a knockout victory in MVP versus Junior Dos Santos. But Junior Dos Santos, I think they carried him out of the retirement home for that fight and then brought him back into the retirement home after that fight.
Yeah, his hands are so low though.
Yeah.
He was like real low when he was fighting him too. Oh, dude, Ty, I don't know. He's dog. He's game, dude.
He is game and he's fucking due. And if he's not, he just needs to get cut from the UFC and then start doing bare knuckle boxing.
100%.
Him bare knuckle boxing or dirty boxing that would be so much fun. That would be pure entertainment. I don't know. I think they need to do that.
100%.
And then obviously the big ticket is Sarukian versus Rufi was announced. I heard that Charles Oliveira is dealing with a potential injury and it was supposed to be them. And then they were like, yo, he's not going to be able to do it. And then they chose Rufi.
That's what I heard too. And Rufi's definitely game.
Rufi's definitely game. I have Sarukian taking that though.
I have Sarukian as well. I think he's gonna submit him.
I think it's gonna be very similar to the BSD fight.
Yeah,
Unfortunately.
I think he's gonna kind of like tune him up on the feet a little bit, and then I think that Rufi's gonna try and knock him first thing, fresh out the game.
I mean, the thing is like it's been happening this year. We literally just saw it with the Saul Killed fight, where these strikers are starting to go up against grapplers and they're starting to chin grapplers.
Yes, sir.
I'm just saying. So the tides might be turning with the striker versus grappler matchup.
We might be getting some fun fights again.
100%. I'm here for it. I mean, at least just a balanced fight, not just a one-sided, hey, we're just going to, take you to the cage and then take you down. And then we're just going to possess you essentially for 5 rounds. We're getting a real balance of, you're going to really need to know MMA. You're going to need to know how to defend takedowns. You're going to have to know how to do takedowns. You're going to have to learn how to strike. You're going to have a full mixed bag in order to have really good success in the UFC.
I just don't understand why they don't do that in the first place. That's how you get fights. That's how you get paychecks. That's how you get bonuses. That's how you get all this stuff. So you get fans. That's how you get friends.
Well, the thing is like, let's say you fall in love with striking. You're Stephen Thompson, right? You're just like this virtuoso. You just get it. From there on, if you're thinking that you're gonna decide to do MMA fights, you're like, maybe that's for me. You should be doing grappling right after that, just because you're gonna be taken down. People are gonna try to take you down. You know how much of a fucking plot twist that would have been if we found out after all these years that Israel Adesanya had a fucking wrestling game and he submitted someone. My jaw would fucking drop to the floor if we just found out this whole time he was like this virtuoso, but in the background, he's like a fucking black belt in jiu-jitsu. And we're just like, oh shit, he is that guy? Oh, my bad.
Instead, he's just getting pole smoked right now.
Yeah.
He's just edging everyone. He's going to get you all the way to the finish. And then right before that, he's like, all right, go ahead and knock me out.
We also have Jourdain versus Chito Vera.
That's a fun fight.
That's a fun fight. Chito is hard to knock out.
He needs this.
He needs this. Jourdain wants an exciting fight. And I mean, do you think that he tries to go for a submission?
I don't know, man. I used to be such a big Cheeto guy. And now I'm a huge Jourdain. I've always been a big Jourdain guy.
What is that, like 2023? Is that the year where like he was just like on that tear with
2022, I think.
Dominic Cruz and all that? Maybe 2022, maybe. Oh my gosh.
No, I think it was 2022 to 2023.
Yeah, he had like just like a string where he was like he had Frankie Edgar and
dude, Rob Font.
Like he had all these fights where he was like, God damn, he's that guy. And then he just
and then he was chirping at Sean O'Malley the entire time.
Yeah,
and we were like, dude, we need to set up this fight.
Oh yeah, 100%.
And then Sean O'Malley just beat the dog shit out of him.
Yeah, just beat the brakes off of him.
Crazy.
Anyone with less of a chin gets chinned in that.
Then after that, he just like got gun shy. He's like not going and not trying to do things. And
I mean, to be fair, he was kind of passive before. He was very selective with his shots. But the thing is that his shots were kill shots. Now he just kind of, I don't know, maybe he's overthinking it. I don't know what it is. But it's like, I feel like he's like very passive. And then he's like, I need to get going. And then he's like, but I don't know how to get going. It's really weird to see it. his fights nowadays.
I don't know, but I definitely have Jourdain to take that.
I have Jourdain to take that. Vera is due for a win, though. So, I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if he did pull something out and ultimately win that fight because he does need that win. Last but not least, we have Rahiki versus Tommy McMillan.
This was the talk of the talk, dude.
The talk of the town.
On live stream.
The belle of the ball.
On the TikTok live stream, everyone was asking us about this fight. Knee-jerk reaction. I mean, I have to go Tommy until we actually do a little bit more deep dive. Then it's going to be probably Rahiki. I just think that Rahiki's going to get done, but I can't express it right now. But I will build evidence that Rahiki gets it done.
Oh, no. I have Tommy McMillan. I'm going to feel pretty strongly about this, especially because it's going to be in Arizona. It's going to be the hometown crowd. He made me eat my words last time, so I got to learn from that mistake.
Last time what?
He fought
Who did he fight?
Alberto Montes.
How did he fight him?
By striking him.
Oh, is Alberto Montes a really good striker?
Okay. It's better if he is able to mix it and be MMA. His MMA striking is good. His pure striking apparently is something to be desired.
It's subpar against someone who's a
Pure striker.
pure striker. Yeah.
I don't know. McMillan does have good takedown defense and stuff like that. I don't think Rahiki, though, is going to be trying to grapple or anything like that. He's going to stand and bang.
I think so.
So it's going to be a very interesting fight that way. And we've seen him get really hurt in his fights. I mean, the Dana White Contender Series somehow pulls that shit out of his ass from the jaws of life. He just fucking...
Do you think that Tommy's that guy who puts people out?
I don't think so. I mean, we're going to find out.
I guess we'll find out.
But, I mean, he's game for that fight.
He is game for the fight, but so is Rahiki.
Yeah, so, I mean, it's going to be a great fight.
Rahiki broke homeboy's jaw. Like, he's out here actually putting damage and hurt on people. I feel like Tommy's a volume guy. Like, he just stays on the pace the whole time. Yeah. And he doesn't commit to any shots. Just constantly flurrying like this, like, rock'em sock'em style.
Yeah.
So it's interesting.
Oh, it's going to be a great fight. I just think that McMillan, he has the aura too.
He was also getting hurt by the grappler Montes himself. He did get hurt a few times by him.
Yeah. I mean, Montes does have power, dude. He's a good striker. He's
all right.
I mean, he's all right.
All right, before we get into this week's fight picks, we are going live on Kick, Twitch, YouTube, and TikTok this Saturday. We're going to be reacting and live betting on each fight. So whether we win big or lose big, you don't want to miss it.
First fight up is Myktybek Orolbai versus Jeremiah Wells. Who you got?
I have Orolbai on this. The wrestling and the grappling is definitely going to make the difference in this one. He's only lost one time in the UFC, and that's to Rebecca at 155. He couldn't even make 155, so they fought at a catch weight at 160. He's looked so much better since making the transition up to 170. Just ask Jack Hermanson. Wells is at the tail end of his career at 39 years old, but I would definitely say he's a live dog in this because he still has the power to connect, and if he connects, he's definitely putting his lights out.
I have Myktybek on this one. Jeremiah Wells, he's respectable, but I mean, let's be honest, he's 39 years old. Going up against a 28-year-old future contender in Myktybek Orolbai. I see Myktybek just controlling all 3 rounds, starting off with the chain wrestling in the first round, really making Jeremiah Wells carry his weight. With Jeremiah Wells being 39 years old, his gas tank is not going to be what it used to be. So I see him just kind of breaking him down over rounds 1 and 2. He can maybe get a stoppage in the 3rd round, but I see this going to decision. Just going all 3 rounds. Wells has good enough grappling to defend most of the submissions that be coming his way. And I don't see Myktybek clipping him and knocking him out. If anything, Jeremiah Wells has the ability to connect and hurt Myktybek. Next fight up is Neil Magny versus Ramiz Brahimaj. Who you got?
I have Ramiz on this. Neil Magny is the most annoying person ever to bet on. If you bet on him, he loses. If you bet on him to lose, then he just pulls out some fuck shit and then he just ends up catching a submission. It's the weirdest stuff in the world. We saw it in a million fights. I mean, the most recent one is definitely the Jake Matthews fight. When Jake Matthews won the fight, they called off the fight, and then they continued the fight, and then Neil Magny ends up getting the submission. It was just the weirdest thing in the world. I just have such a strong feeling that Ramiz is going to be winning this fight, and then Neil Magny is just going to throw up some shit and either submit him, or if we bet against Ramiz, then Neil Magny is going to lose. So I just have to go Ramiz on this one, but could go either way.
Joe, I'm going to break my rule. I'm going with Neil Magny. I don't know why, but I just feel like Neil Magny is going to take this. I mean, Jake Matthews is a better fighter. We can all agree than Ramiz. And Neil Magny did beat him. I know it's some weird fuck shit, but he still beat him. The only people he's lost to in the last 5 fights have been absolute dogs. He lost to Carlos Prates, who would smoke Ramiz. I know you're laughing at me because this is just some MMA math shit.
But it's like all in the negatives. You're adding in the negatives. He's lost to all these really good fighters.
No, but they wouldn't put him in matches with these fighters if they didn't think that he could be competitive or be able to go up against them. I don't know. I just don't see Ramiz like getting matched up with the same caliber of people. That's why I'm saying. You know, like, do we think that Punalehe is going to be able to smoke Yaroslav? I don't think so. Magny's only fought kind of the cream of the crop of the welterweight division. And I don't think Ramiz is to that level. Ramiz's best strength is also Neil Magny's best strength, which is going to be like jiu-jitsu grappling. Because of the experience that Neil Magny has on the ground, I think he's able to set up traps on the ground and be able to have more success on the ground versus Ramiz having success against Neil Magny.
I mean, we could definitely go with Neil Magny just because Neil Magny can just have some fuck shit happen, especially if certain people are reffing.
Yeah, and he's also going to be the taller fighter by a huge margin, by 5 inches. And he's also going to have the 8-inch reach advantage, which is just crazy.
It's also going to have the age advantage.
I mean, he's older, but he's only 5 years older. Like, I thought that Ramiz was going to be like 27, 28. And I was like, oh, okay, like that's definitely a huge gap. But like 33 going on 34, we see where he's kind of capped at, I feel. Like, I don't see him making a run up to the top 15. Next fight up is Rafael Tobias versus Luque Fernando. Who you got?
I have Luque Fernando on this. He kind of got the shit end of the stick. He was on Dana White Contender Series. He lost to Cesar Almeida, and then he went back to LFA, and then he lost to Bakoyev. But since losing to Bakoyev, he's been on a tear in the LFA. He's fought championship fights. I definitely think that he's done more in his career than his opponent, and I think that that's going to show. These are definitely going to be some really bright lights at 330, and I think Tobias is probably going to wilt.
I also have Luque Fernando in this fight. Lucas is going to be the more proficient striker in this matchup. He has more power. He's going to have the reach advantage as well. If he can stay long with his striking and keep the fight at kickboxing range, I think he's going to have a lot of success against Rafael Tobias. The problem is that Rafael Tobias does have the edge in grappling. So if he can get into a clinching scenario where he can get like a hip toss, or he can ultimately try to get a body lock or try to get a single leg, something like that, take it to the ground. The biggest weakness that I see in Lucas's game is going to be in the grappling department. And if it gets to the ground, it's definitely like a 50-50. We don't know how this is going to end up. But besides that, I just feel like Lucas, he's coming off back-to-back KO wins, championship KO wins, mind you. And he's coming in with a nice win streak going. I don't know. You're also going to have Tobias that just came off of a loss. I think that the momentum is going to ride on this one. They're both going to be young fighters as well, 23 and 29. There's not going to be a huge discrepancy in age, but I just ultimately see Fernando potentially knocking him in the second or third round. Next fight up is Vicente Luque versus Tresean Gore. Who you got?
I have Vicente Luque on this. Vicente Luque is a smaller middleweight. He usually fights at 170, going up to 185. He just has first fight against Gaslam at 185. Tresean Gore cuts down to make 185. So fight night comes around, he's going to be like around 200 and something pounds. He's going to be much larger than Vicente, but Vicente has so much more experience and I think more skills overall. Both guys are coming off of kind of like a sus win. I mean, Gaslam took that fight on 6 weeks notice and he got dusted pretty quick. I thought it'd be a lot more competitive, but Luque, I guess, has power at 185 and just starched him and then just submitted him. Crazy. But then we have Tresean Gore, and Tresean Gore did win that fight against Bakoyev. But the weird thing is, I think that maybe Bakoyev was thinking Gore was just a stepping stone and overlooked him. And then once he was in there and he felt Tresean actually trying to take his head off, he was like, oh shit. He didn't realize how deep in he was until all of a sudden he's getting choked out. I definitely have Luque to win this. He's not going to overlook Tresean Gore, and I think he's going to go for the finish the entire time.
I agree. I also have Vicente Luque. This fight can get interesting because for some reason, Tresean Gore has somehow prestiged his guillotine, which will be a legitimate threat against Vicente Luque. We've seen him shoot in and get submitted before in the past. The biggest part of this fight is the fact that Tresean Gore has pretty bad striking defense. On the UFC website, it says that Tresean Gore absorbs 7 significant strikes per minute, which is way too much especially if you get someone like a Vicente Luque that needs kind of evidence that he's doing good. Once he starts landing shots, that's when Vicente becomes more and more confident. We see it in most of his fights where he's like, kind of looks unsure, and then he starts throwing some stuff, and he just gets the ball rolling, and then he's really just like an avalanche from there, where he's just snowballing all this momentum. And you can't do that if you're Tresean Gore. The big thing for him is that he's going to have really good striking defense in this fight in order to not get either A, cracked, and also not to get wilted by Vicente Luque's striking. Because Vicente Luque's striking is very underrated. He does a lot of volume. He has obviously really good power. I mean, he cracked Kelvin Gastelum. If Vicente Luque wasn't a submission artist, he would have TKO'd. He would have been the first person to TKO Kelvin Gastelum in the octagon. So, I mean, I just see Vicente Luque just being the more experienced fighter, and he's just going to go in there and he's going to get this shit done. Next fight up is Dante Johnson versus Eric McConaughey. Who you got?
I have Dante Johnson on this. He was knocking people out at heavyweight and light heavyweight, and now he's fighting McConaughey, who has been knocked out in 2 of his last 4 UFC fights. I think Dante is going to get it done, and I think he's going to knock him out.
I also have Dante Johnson in this fight. McConaughey is going to be severely older. He's like almost a decade older. The big thing for Dante Johnson is to hit hard and start fast. He just needs to be immediately on McConaughey's ass. McConaughey's best path of victory to win this one is to make it a slower, more technical fight. And Dante needs to understand that he thrives in chaos, and he needs a lot of shit going on, and then he's going to be able to clip Eric McConaughey. And I see that happening on Saturday, where he's just going to throw some shit, and maybe he gets him with an overhand, maybe gets him with a like slappy lead hook, something like that. And he's going to start the downfall of McConaughey against the cage. And then I see him getting a first or second round finish. Next fight up is Jalen Turner versus Cowie Fernandez. Who you got?
I have Jalen Turner on this. I am excited to see both of these guys get back in there. Jalen Turner has only lost to dogs like Bahamundez when Bahamundez was Bahamundez. Moicano when Moicano was starching people. Hooker when he was on a rise. And he's coming off a really good performance against Barboza when he knocked him out. He's making resurgence. I'm really excited to see both these guys because I can't wait to see Fernandez actually fight someone who could take a calf kick, because his last fight he TKO'd Hardwick with just calf kicks. So let's see what happens when Jalen Turner brings him into deep waters.
I also have Jalen Turner. Cowie Fernandez is a dog. I'm a little bit worried about this fight. The biggest issue I have is Jalen Turner's his calf, because he has small ass legs, because he just has such a big frame for that division. But then also his consistency. He's one that, like, if he doesn't have a perfect fight camp, I feel like he doesn't come out with a great headspace, and he just comes out a little flat because of that. And I just really don't want to see him come out really flat, not showing his best. The best version of Jalen Turner is a really fun fighter. Very exciting. And if he's going to be the fun Jalen Turner that we love to watch, I see him catching Fernandez when he's entering in round 2 and seeing him getting a stoppage. Next fight up is Chidi and Njokuani versus Joel Alvarez. Who you got?
I have Alvarez on this. He's so pissed that he lost that fight against Yaroslav. Yaroslav made him look silly. That definitely wasn't the best performance for Joel. And you're only as good as your last fight. He's definitely going to come in this with a chip on his shoulder, and he's going to try to finish Chidi. I think he gets it done. I think he might submit him either maybe first or second round.
I have Joel Alvarez in this as well. Chidi, his best path to victory is to try to keep this standing and making this a kickboxing fight. He has a really big reach advantage in this fight against Joel. The thing is that Joel is an MMA fighter, so he has very effective striking, but also he has even better ground game. And I think that he can just maul Chidi on the ground and get a submission. I see it happening early. He doesn't have the gas tank because it's a short-nosed fight to go all 3 rounds effectively. Obviously, he could. He has the toughness to do it. But I think that he just wants to get this shit done and get on to the next fight. So I see Joel just taking this maybe round 1, round 2 submission. Next fight up is Edson Barboza versus Esteban Ribovics. Who you got?
This is actually my lock of the week. I have Esteban to win this by KO. If he stays on the gas the entire time and he fights the same fight that he fought against Daniel Zellhuber in this fight, I think there's no reason he doesn't get his hand raised, and there's no reason he doesn't knock him out. Edson is much older. He's at the tail end of his career. He's very dangerous in the early rounds, very explosive, but then he just gasses extremely quick. If Esteban can keep the pressure, there's no reason he doesn't knock him out.
This is an interesting fight. I have Esteban to win this. Obviously, he's got the age on his side. Edson has only looked slower and slower, and he's only looked worse. We saw him against Jakar close. He looked old in that. After like the first round or so, he looked so slow compared to Jakar, and Jakar is not even a explosive, fast guy. Then we saw him against Jalen Turner. Jalen Turner just walked through him in the first round and called it a day. Now he's going up against Ribovics. Maybe I'm just a little high on Ribovics, but he has incredible volume, incredible pace. He has the power to put anyone out at any time. If you don't believe me, watch the Terrence McKinney knockout. That was fucking filthy. It's an interesting fight though, because they're both strikers, but they do certain things so much better that are opposites. So Edson is at his best when he is at distance, where he gets to be in kickboxing range. He can throw his calf kick. He gets to throw his wheel kick. He can be really explosive in his counters, and you can see shots coming. Ribovics has to do what he loves to do, which is going to be just throwing a lot of volume, really crowding and occupying the void between himself and Edson. And I see him doing that. And if he's doing that, he can catch him with a hook. He can catch him with a knee. Honestly, he can pretty much do whatever he wants there. I believe that Edson's not going to have the chin durability to withstand that power. And I think he's going to get melted relatively quick in this fight. Next fight up is Mansur Abdul-Malik versus Dustin Stoltzfus. Who you got?
I have Mansur to win this. This is either going to be a war or it's going to be a very early night. Either way, Mansur's getting his hand raised by the end of this. Mansur has 2 inches of height and 5 inches of reach. He's the younger, taller, longer, more powerful fighter in this fight. There's no reason he doesn't take this.
This is actually my lock of the week. I have Mansur to maul Dustin Stoltzfus. Mansur is coming off his first loss of his career. I mean, it was a tough one, but it's against a really tough opponent in Usuri. Dustin is nowhere near the level of Usuri, in my opinion. We've seen it in previous fights where Dustin kind of gets melted against the cage and relinquishes against the pressure of a pressure fighter. And Mansur, one of his biggest strengths in his striking is that he really just like sucks space, and he just gets it into like a dirty boxing range. And I see him just essentially mauling him against the cage, trying to get it to the ground, and then he gets a ground and pound knockout. Next fight up is Charles Johnson versus Jose Ochoa. Who you got?
I have Jose Ochoa. I think this is a terrible matchup for Charles Johnson. Ochoa is going to press the pace the entire time. Charles Johnson doesn't do the best job staying off that cage. I mean, we saw it in the Silva fight. I think he lost that fight, but I mean, they did raise his hand, so I guess he won that fight. Charles Johnson does a great job at stopping all of these up-and-coming fighters. Charles Johnson does do a great job at stopping the momentum for these up-and-coming fighters. All these up-and-coming fighters will be dusting him, and then he just clips them and knocks them out. Lonnie Kavanaugh is a perfect example. And then you have Josh Van. He just always is doing that. But they both lost to the same guy, Asu, and they lost differently. Asu versus Ochoa, that's a perfect example of Ochoa being on the defense, not getting his offense going, and kind of being really tentative because of the grappling. I don't think that Charles Johnson's going to have that grappling aura that Asu has. So Ochoa is just going to run him down. He's going to try to knock him out. He's going to try to get it done in spectacular fashion because that's what Ochoa does. This is also Charles Johnson's 4th fight this year. I mean, he did get knocked out at the beginning of the year, and that was only 3 fights ago. This is his 4th fight. Maybe we see it happen again. Just saying.
I have Charles Johnson in this fight. It is a very close fight. I understand why you're going with Ochoa. It kind of comes down to what you think is going to happen in this fight. If this fight is at distance and it's a clean striking match, I think Ochoa wins this 9 out of 10 times. The thing is that once it becomes a dirty fight and they're in clinch range, it doesn't feel like it's just a sparring match and that it's an actual MMA fight. I think that that's where Charles Johnson is going to really thrive in this fight. And I see it just going to decision either way. But I believe that Charles Johnson's savviness is going to carry him through this fight. I mean, we've seen him against multiple younger fighters. I mean, you said it yourself, Josh Van, Lonnie Kavanaugh. Both those fighters at that time really thrived in just having very straightforward exchanges where they kept it in kickboxing range. And then it's like, I go, you go, I go, you go. And Charles Johnson That's how he caught them. He was catching them with the and one and things that you wouldn't normally see in just a traditional sparring match, where it's like, oh, I threw that 1, 2, 3, and then I threw that overhand. And then, oh, I caught Lonnie because of that. Or you see him with the double jab uppercut against Josh Van, which is not a traditional boxing combination that you would see in training. So I just feel like because of that, Charles Johnson, he's going to have these weird combinations, things that Jose Ochoa has not seen in his training camp. And I think that he'll be able to try to just disrupt him and mess around with him for 3 rounds because of that. But we can go with Ochoa because he is over a decade younger. I'm just saying Charles Johnson, energy is going to be definitely a live dog in this fight. Next fight up is the co-main event. We have Mackenzie Dern versus Gillian Robertson for the strawweight title. Who you got?
I have Gillian Robertson to take this. I just think 9 times out of 10 she beats Mackenzie Dern. It all depends on which Gillian Robertson shows up, though. It's the mental game with Gillian Robertson. I think she's a much better fighter. She's a way better striker than Dern. And honestly, if you look at stats, she's probably a more dangerous grappler. Now, Dern might be a better grappler, and everyone decorates her as this crazy grappler on the ground, way, way more dangerous than Gillian Robertson. But, I mean, Mackenzie Dern has 5 submission wins, and then you see a more killer instinct with Gillian Robertson with 10 submission wins. The thing that scares me is that if Gillian Robertson just wants to make this a full grappling match, I think Mackenzie Dern wants to make this a grappling match, and then we're going to see just pretty tired grappling and then a lot of really shitty striking on Mackenzie Dern's side. Gillian Robertson is a way better striker than Dern is. She's a more complete MMA fighter than Dern is. Dern has like that wrestler grappler power, and then she has grappling. She doesn't have like the finesse of striking to go with the power. She just does this really awkward, wonky 1-2 where she just goes way off the line with everything she's throwing. She looks like she's driving a bus pretty much. She just plops around and very flat-footed. Nothing really to write home about. A lot of these guys, though, are going to be like, oh my God, Mackenzie Dern, she's so hot. We have to vote. No, dude, out of it. Mackenzie Dern is not going to sleep with you. Don't bet on her. Bet on Gillian Robertson. She's going to win.
I also have Gillian Robertson. Dude, this Simp Lord shit got me. Sorry. Yeah, I mean, I completely agree with you. The thing is that Gillian Robertson is the more effective striker. Mackenzie Dern is an absolute beast on the ground. She has all the accolades to prove it. She's absolutely fantastic. But she doesn't have the wrestling to really take Gillian down and get to the positions that she's looking for. Her takedown entries are very sloppy. They come from downtown. If she does get a takedown, it's going to be from a lot of effort of trying to get a certain position to get a hip toss in the clinch. Gillian Robertson, though, she does have more variety with her ground game versus Mackenzie Dern's ground game, where she has more effective cage wrestling. She has more effective trips. She has more trips in her bag. She has really good scrambles. Her top pressure is really good. She's really good and effective at ground and pound as well, especially with elbows. And from ground and pound, she's very good at transitioning to the back as well. And she's always trying to improve to the best possible position that she can get to on the ground in order to be the most effective in her ground game. That being said, I honestly don't see either one of these fighters trying to get this to the ground. Most of the time when we see a grappler versus grappler matchup, we just see 2 people throwing hands, and whoever has the more effective striking wins. And I just see Gillian Robertson being the more effective striker, especially over a 5-round fight. Next fight up is the main event. We have Islam Makhachev versus Ian Machado Garry. Who you got?
Unfortunately, I have Ian Garry on this. This is the year of the Dagestan upsets. Ian Garry is going to be 5 inches taller, 6 years younger, and have 4 inches of reach advantage. He's been training at Shooter Boxing for quite some time now. Definitely game planning this entire thing for years. With Damian Maia and Charles Oliveira, there's no way that he doesn't have a perfect game plan to keep this standing. He needs to keep it standing, staying in the center of the octagon, making sure he doesn't get taken down. He has to win the early rounds because it is a championship fight. If he doesn't win the early rounds, it's going to be very hard to win the later rounds against a guy as dangerous as Islam.
I really want Islam to win this fight, but I do have a feeling that Ian is going to upset a lot of people, including myself. I don't want him to be champion. I just feel like he's going to be. His movement is really good. He has exceptional movement. It's frustrated every single person in the division. The big thing is that he knows the Islam game plan. Islam, every single fight, this is his plan, is he's going to pressure, get to the cage, body lock, takedown, control. That's his strategy for every single fight. And then from there, he goes in either ground and pounds or he submits him, most of the time submitting. Knowing that, Ian's strategy is going to use his striking and then use his movement to keep himself in the center of the octagon and try to make it so that if Islam is going to take him down, he's going to really have to work for a takedown, because Ian's takedown defense is really good, especially because of how tall, how lanky, makes it so that he's very difficult to really just get a traditional takedown from, especially with Islam's love of judo throws and things like that. It's hard to get it with a taller opponent just because you can't really get the leverage you can get with someone that's the same size as you. Another thing that Ian needs to do in order to win this fight is to win one of the first 3 rounds. If he can convincingly win one of the first 3 rounds, Islam does get tired after like round 3. He does get really gassed. We've seen it in multiple previous fights. One of the big ones is definitely the Islam versus Alexander Volkanovski fight, the first one, where we definitely saw him in the first 2 to 3 rounds really just keep that pace going. And then rounds 4 and 5, he was absolutely toast against Volkanovski. And Volkanovski had a lot of success later on in that fight. If you can get a round off of him in the first 3 rounds, where it's like, okay, I just need to win the last 2 rounds, and he's still the fresher fighter, that's going to get really interesting really quick, especially if he can make Islam work for those takedowns earlier in the fight. And I see that happening. I honestly see him really trying to make Islam work for those takedowns. Maybe Islam gets some takedowns, maybe he doesn't get some takedowns. The one part that does stress me out about this fight, though, is definitely going to be Islam's ability to immediately go for a submission once he's on the ground. We've seen it in a lot of his previous fights, you know, him versus Charles Oliveira, for example, where once he does get it to the ground, he does not fuck around. He immediately gets to his spot and then he gets his submission. Whether it's a head and arm or a darce, either one of those, he just immediately gets to that position and then gets it. I think that's his most efficient path to victory to win this fight. This is a very close fight. I can see it go either way, but right now I have Ian Garry to shock the world. Before we wrap up this episode, we do have a huge announcement. We are going to be live streaming and live betting the Dana White Contender Series every Tuesday, exclusively for our YouTube members.
All right, that's a wrap for this week's Fight Picks. Thanks for hanging out with us. If you enjoy this content, all of our social media is linked in the bio. Be sure to subscribe, cash those tickets, and don't forget, bet smart, fight hard. We'll catch you in the next card.